Let me start with a dangerous truth. If you want a man to love you, don't feed his ego, hurt it. Yes, you heard me right. Not destroy it, not crush it, but poke it, challenge it. Because here's the paradox. Men don't fall in love with women who constantly validate them. They fall madly for women who make them step up. Men are natural hunters, not just in the literal, ancient sense of chasing food, but in the psychological sense of wanting to pursue something that feels just out of reach. The chase isn't just about winning, it's about proving something to themselves, and this is where the power of playful challenge comes in. If a man meets a woman who agrees with everything he says, nods at every opinion, laughs at every joke even when it's not funny, and never questions him, what happens? At first, he feels good. His ego gets stroked, and he enjoys the attention. But soon after, the excitement fades because there's nothing to strive for. He doesn't feel stretched. He doesn't feel tested. And if he doesn't feel tested, he doesn't feel truly alive in that connection. Now imagine a different kind of interaction. He's bragging about being amazing at a game, or boasting about how every woman he's dated told him he's the best at something. Instead of feeding that story, you tilt your head, raise an eyebrow, and playfully throw back a challenge. Maybe you say, "Oh, so you're undefeated, perfect, I'll be your first loss." In that moment, you've done something powerful. You've poked at his ego, not in a cruel way, not in a way that belittles him, but in a way that makes him want to rise to the occasion. He can't just sit back and bask in your approval. He has to earn it. The truth is, men love to feel strong, capable, and admired, but admiration given too freely loses its value. Think about it. If someone tells you you're amazing before you've even done anything, it doesn't feel special. But if someone challenges you, makes you work for their attention, and then acknowledges you when you step up, that feels unforgettable. That's the secret to creating an energy where his ego is both teased and stretched at the same time. And the best part, this challenge doesn't have to be big or dramatic. It can be woven into small, everyday moments. If he insists on choosing the restaurant, you can smile and say, "Fine, but if it's bad, you're never picking again." If he flirts by calling himself irresistible, you can laugh and reply, "Irresistible. Let's not get carried away." Those playful pokes remind him that you're not intimidated by his ego, and that confidence is magnetic. By lightly challenging him, you turn an ordinary interaction into a spark of tension, and that tension, that game of push and pull, is what keeps him thinking about you long after the conversation ends. A man's ego is fragile, even when he tries to act like it isn't. On the surface, he may project confidence, success, or strength, but underneath it, there's always a part of him that wants to be admired, validated, and told he's enough. The problem is, when admiration is given too freely, it loses its meaning. Imagine someone showering you with compliments every day, no matter what you do. At first, it feels nice, but after a while, it becomes background noise. It doesn't carry weight anymore because you didn't have to earn it. The same thing happens with men. When you worship him, always agreeing, always praising, always making him feel like he's already the prize. He enjoys it, sure, but it doesn't make him respect you. It makes him comfortable, and comfort rarely breeds passion. That's why respect is infinitely more valuable than blind admiration. Respect means you're looking deeper than his surface-level qualities. You're not impressed by his flashy car, his title at work, or the attention he gets from others. You're impressed by his actions, his consistency, his integrity. When you tease his ego or challenge his attempts to win you over, you send a message, "I see you, but I don't place you on a pedestal. If you want my admiration, you'll have to show me who you really are." And that is far more intoxicating to a man than endless flattery. For example, let's say he pulls up in a fancy car, clearly trying to impress you. Most people might gasp and shower him with compliments, but you smile and say, "Nice car, but can you cook?" In that moment, you're not attacking him, you're balancing the scales. You're showing that while the car is nice, it doesn't define your level of interest. You're telling him in a playful way that external things won't win you over, and what does that do to his ego? It stirs it. It makes him want to prove more. He's no longer relying on what he has. He's forced to show who he is. Men fall hardest for women who see beyond the surface, because deep down they know looks fade, money comes and goes, and charm wears off. What remains is character, and when you're the woman who refuses to hand out admiration for free, you're not rejecting him. You're inviting him to rise. You're making him feel like if he wins your respect, he's achieved something real. And that, for a man, is a feeling he'll never forget. Think about the people who have left the deepest marks on your heart. Were they the ones who always agreed with you, who made things too easy, who never challenged your perspective? Probably not. The people we remember, the ones we couldn't stop thinking about, are usually the ones who stirred something inside us. They made us second, guess ourselves, they sparked curiosity, and sometimes they even frustrated us a little. That mix of tension and unpredictability created a kind of emotional pull we couldn't resist, and that's the truth about love. It doesn't thrive in comfort. It thrives in those little sparks of discomfort that push us out of our emotional autopilot. When you hurt a man's ego, not in a cruel way, but in a teasing, challenging, honest way, you're giving him that spark. You're reminding him he doesn't automatically get to coast in your presence. Maybe you call him out when he's exaggerating, or you roll your eyes when he tries to play the smooth operator. Suddenly he feels something. That tiny moment of tension is like a hook. It grabs his attention and refuses to let go. Why? Because you're different. You're not another person in the crowd validating his every move. You're the one who makes him stop, think, and ask himself, wait, how do I get her to see me differently? That question is gold because it's the root of emotional investment. If he's constantly thinking about how to impress you, how to rise to your level, how to earn your respect, he's emotionally involved whether he admits it or not, and that involvement doesn't come from endless comfort. It comes from those little doses of discomfort that challenge his ego and make him work harder. Think of it like this. If every door in life is open to him, the one that's locked, even just slightly, becomes the most intriguing. He wants to push, to figure out the code, to see what's on the other side. This doesn't mean you should play games or constantly criticize him. The magic is in the balance. It's in laughing at his cheesy pickup line instead of melting from it, or in raising your standards so he has to rise up to meet them. It's in holding him accountable when his words don't match his actions, instead of giving him a free pass. These small but powerful moments create tension, and tension creates depth. And depth is where real feelings are born. Attraction is never built in a straight line. If all you ever do is pour out attention, affection, and validation, it might feel good for a moment, but soon it becomes predictable. Predictability is safe, but safe rarely creates passion. On the flip side, if all you ever do is challenge him, criticize him, or push him away, that doesn't create passion either. It just builds walls. The real magic lies in the rhythm, in the back and forth dance of push and pull. It's the teasing remark followed by the genuine smile, the playful challenge followed by the warm appreciation, the moment of withholding followed by the moment of giving. That's what keeps a man hooked, because it mirrors the very tension that fuels desire. When you lightly hurt his ego, you spark his competitive drive. You remind him that nothing worth having comes too easily. He feels the push, the challenge of needing to prove himself, to step up, to win your respect. That push keeps him engaged, but here's the key. If you stop there and never offer any pull, any warmth, softness, or appreciation, he eventually feels defeated and checks out. That's why the balance matters. After you tease him for being late, you let him know you appreciate the effort he made to show up. After you roll your eyes at his cocky story, you laugh and tell him you enjoy his energy. It's the combination that creates an addictive cycle. He never quite knows what's coming next, but he always knows it's worth showing up for. This push-pull dynamic also keeps you in a position of strength. You're not overgiving or overwith, holding. You're responding with intention. When he earns your affection, it feels real because he knows it wasn't automatic. When he feels challenged, it doesn't come across as rejection because you balance it with moments of connection. And that blend creates exactly what every man secretly craves: excitement mixed with security. Too much security alone feels dull, and too much excitement alone feels unstable. But when you give both in measured doses, it's irresistible. Imagine you tease him about thinking he's the funniest guy in the room. His ego takes a tiny hit, but before he can overthink it, you add, "But I'll admit, you did make me laugh." That moment captures it perfectly. He feels challenged but also rewarded. He's slightly off balance but also reassured. That constant interplay creates the roller coaster effect, the very thing that makes people fall, not just like. It's not manipulation, it's chemistry. It's the art of keeping love alive by refusing to make it too easy and refusing to make it impossible. It's the sweet spot where attraction doesn't just exist, it grows stronger every single time. When you really step back and look at it, the truth becomes clear. Love isn't about giving a man constant comfort. It's about giving him a reason to rise. A man who never has to work for your respect will never fully value it. But a man who has to step up, prove himself, and earn his place in your world will guard that connection with his life. By poking at his ego, you ignite something primal in him: the need to chase, the need to win, the need to feel alive in the pursuit of you. That pursuit is where attraction lives. The beauty of this approach is that it's not about games or cruelty. It's not about belittling or tearing someone down. It's about confidence. It's about knowing that your value doesn't depend on how much you inflate someone else's ego. Instead, it comes from how much you honor yourself. When you set the standard that says, "I won't worship you for free, but I will respect you when you show me something real," you're showing strength. And strength is magnetic. Men don't want a fan. They want a partner who challenges them to be better. What makes this powerful is the balance. You challenge his ego, yes, but you also reward his effort. You tease him when he gets cocky, but you melt when he shows vulnerability. You make him earn your admiration, but when he does, you give it wholeheartedly. This balance creates a rhythm that never grows old. It keeps him on his toes while also making him feel safe. And that combination is the secret cocktail of passion, respect, and lasting love. So remember this: hurting his ego doesn't mean breaking him. It means waking him. It means refusing to settle for shallow charm and demanding the deeper parts of him to show up. Because when a man knows he can't buy your affection, when he knows he has to fight for your respect, that's when he doesn't just like you. He loves you madly, and that kind of love, the kind that's earned, not given away cheaply, is the kind that lasts. ***, thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I hope this message gave you not just clarity, but also the confidence to shift the way you see love and attraction. Remember, your value doesn't come from how much you inflate someone else's ego. It comes from the standards you hold and the way you carry yourself. If you found this powerful, make sure to share it with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss out on more conversations like this. Your support means everything, and it keeps this community growing stronger every single day. Until next time, stay bold, stay playful, and never be afraid to challenge someone to rise to your level. That's where the magic happens. Thank you again, take care, and goodbye for now. ***.